still focused on the day. Sometimes it's unreachable. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is August the 7th, and it's been a challenging month so far. For me, today, basically when I woke up, from the moment I woke up, it felt like someone had taken a piece of wood, let's say a bat or a 2x4, to my shin, to my right shin in specific. And I began to wonder, especially with a lot of other circumstances that occurred last night, what kind of strange attack I must be under. And so the only thing I could do is basically just, enjoy it as if it were an interesting challenge, knowing that there is a higher power on my side that was working through this situation with me. And so I didn't panic, and I'm still not panicked. And in a lot of ways, the interesting, the workaround to this pain that I've been subjected to is that I haven't been running for the past couple of days either. I wanted to get some other things fine-tuned, and so as you continue to watch through this video series, you'll see things just kind of coming to order around me. And that's kind of what I do. I bring things to order. And a lot of people don't understand what it means to get things into order because, well, we're so distracted that we may never notice if something is out of order. For an example, if our health is out of order and we have to continue to eat prescriptions, to consume prescriptions, then basically we run into a circumstance where sometimes we never get out of that loop. And the feedback loop sometimes will tell us immediately whether we're doing something productive or counterproductive. Like for an example, I started to play this song, it sounded good, somehow I got tripped up on the lyrics, and that's partly because I have a severe pain shooting through the through the shin on my right hand side. In the past I was attacked in different ways where certain muscles would hurt specifically, but today it's like someone literally took something like a baseball bat to my right leg at the shin level. And it's interesting because, I'm going through these circumstances, getting my steps, running, walking, trying to participate with all of this joy. And sometimes it's just a little harder to get up and get going. And you can notice that, let's say if you've ever had an aging pet or any relative in the aging process, you can notice certain things. But the cognitive decline is the part where we have apparently given up. And in a lot of cases, if we're not paying attention, we can find ourselves going off the path, so to speak. And if we get a little too far off the path, we sometimes are lucky that there are angels around to help us to get back onto the correct path. So if any of this resonates with you, if for whatever reason it makes sense in a way where you're like, wow, you couldn't have scripted that any better, I needed that in my life right now, well, it's probably because we are resonating at the correct frequency together with one another as we're going through these challenging times, which happen to include circumstances that make us think about a little bit more than our own self. And when we start thinking about one another, and including, let's say, wildlife and so forth, and not just being bigoted to the things that we want to include, like for an example, one party of a political divide versus another, when we look past everything and just see everything is included when it comes to joy, then you'll notice that even as the aging process continues, many of us will continue to run through those pains like it's not a big deal, because it still brings us a significant amount of joy to be taking on these challenges with one another. So to clear one log or obstacle and continue to clear more treacherous terrain is one thing, but to navigate to the point where you don't have to go through these pitfalls and challenges as frequently is a whole other story that's also worth discussing at some point in time. So again, this is a show and tell segment where I show you this Breedlove Pursuit concert guitar that I've showcased the name of right up here. As I'm showing that, I'm not selling anything. I'm not trying to project any certain things on anyone. I'm talking about personal experiences that we've all had, and it takes one to know one. So see how that goes. In the imperfections, we have all of the perfection that was necessary in order to bring these conversations to the point where they were supposed to be. Roam the desert at night. You'll rarely see me in the light. And don't you be so surprised if you don't see me at all, but you're not the last soul who I'll see tonight. Do you hear me anyway? Or you still focused on the day? Sometimes your nightmare comes to play. Sometimes it's easy to overlook the storm shadow closing in on you tonight. They run and hide, what's the point? When did death ever disappoint? It's like a hammer to the joint. If you don't spark it at all, maybe your first blow will not be your last. Do you hear me anyway? Or you still focused on the day? Sometimes your nightmare comes to play. Sometimes it's easy to overlook the storm shadow closing in on you tonight. I roam the desert of light. You'll rarely see me out at night. And don't you be so surprised So there you have it. That song is called Storm Shadow. Sometimes it's easy to overlook the storm shadow closing in on you tonight. And sometimes it's not so easy to pray for reasonable rainfall for our neighbors. Sometimes when people are asking for help, for prayer, we forget because it's not a priority. And sometimes, in some circles, especially this circle here of communication, we are able to resonate with one another and to lift each other up and to hear the things that we're struggling with and to help wish positive intent to the other person so that we can all manifest our dreams without continuing to cost one another our lives. So until next time, thank you so much for enjoying this segment. Peace, love, and all that old school stuff.